Hi there, it's Dr. David Greene, founder and CEO of R3 Stem Cell. Today, I'm in Cancun. I just landed and I'm heading over to customs. I wanted to come down as if I was an actual patient and get picked up by our grand transportation team, go to visit one of our hotels that patients often stay at, and then visit the clinic as if I was an actual patient. It's a great place to come and receive treatment. It's a beautiful, beautiful area of Mexico. So it is a first-rate experience here in Mexico for our patients. Once you arrive, we do have ground transportation that will pick you up and take you to your hotel. You can stay at a 3, 4, 5-star resort. We have relationships with a lot of fine places to stay, and our clinic is absolutely gorgeous. So I'll pick this back up after I get through customs. They don't allow video at customs. All right, so getting through customs literally took 5 minutes. Now I'm at baggage claim, and it's interesting because you can see the plethora of U.S. cities that come here and European cities as well. Let's take a look. In Mexico, we treat over 50 different conditions. Everything from orthopedic to autoimmune, neurologic, to a lot of different issues with kidney, heart, and lungs. Our patient satisfaction rate is incredible. It's over 85% year over year. We've been at this for 11 years now. In Mexico, we treat probably 120 patients a month. We're the busiest stem cell centers in Mexico. And part of that is due to the fact that we get so many referrals from patients who come in and they have a great experience. Not just a great experience, but also a great outcome because our treatments have been so effective. There's over 25 different protocols that we have here in Mexico. We've been developing those over the last decade, and those end up being our best practice protocols. For example, if somebody comes down after having had a stroke, we typically do a combination of intravenous stem cells as well as intrathecal, because it's the best way to get a large amount of stem cells into the central nervous system, and it's very, very safe. That is one thing patients tell us all the time, is that they feel very comfortable when they come here or to our Tijuana clinic. We do provide free ground transportation for our patients. It makes them feel very safe and well taken care of because our drivers are so knowledgeable about the area, and typically they grew up, in either Tijuana or Cancun. Okay, so I got out of the airport, met my driver, had a nice sign for me. Thank you. Thank you. So there's a lot of reasons why people might come to Cancun and get their stem cell treatment with R3. One is, I started the company close to a dozen years ago. We've done over 22,000 stem cell procedures in that time. Our outcomes are second to none, and our pricing in Mexico is unreal. People often ask me, how can you keep your pricing? How have you kept it so consistent for years, and why is it so low? The answer is that, I try to do that because I think it's fair. So many clinics, like in Panama and China and other places, they charge about 3 times what they really could. And the reason is because they can. They're trying to serve the top 1% of the market of patients. But the problem is that a lot of people can't afford that. And if they need a repeat treatment, which patients often do, they can't afford it. All right, so I've arrived at my hotel. Going through the hotel zone, there are, you can't even count how many hotels there are. Some are right on the beach, some are right off the beach. This is the Hotel Presidente, where I tend to stay. And, if you wanted to stay at a 5-star resort that has, you can. This is more of a 3 or a 4-star, but I love it. It's not far from the clinic either. right, so I'm going to show you our beautiful clinic in a bit, but for now, let's just talk about why do people come to our Cancun clinic? First of all, it's very accessible. As I showed you at the airport, there are direct flights from so many cities in the U.S., Canada, and also Europe. We do get a lot of folks coming over from Europe because stem cell therapy is not readily accessible, or if it is, it's ridiculously expensive. When people come to Cancun to receive treatment, it's for any one of about 5 different reasons. And first of all, we've been here a long time. In Mexico, we're the busiest stem cell centers in the country by far. And when you look at the quality of the treatment that we provide, it's really second to none. I mean, you have very high grade mesenchymal stem cells and exosomes that we often give together for the treatment. Our lab is CGMP compliant. It's registered with COFAPRIS. The tissue comes from UCLA, and it's really high quality. So that's one thing that we have never, and I will never, sacrifice for R3 since I started the company, is that the quality is just incredible. Okay, so the second reason that people come, to see us is frankly because we're very affordable. Now, I'm not saying we're cheap, okay? I'm saying affordable. And why is that important? Well, it's one of the biggest questions that we get. People say, well, what does it cost? Well, we have to go through our free consultation with our doctors so that we know exactly what's going on with you and how we can help you. First of all, not everybody's a candidate. There's about 10 to 15% of patients that unfortunately we have to turn away. Either it's the condition is too far, or we just don't have enough evidence to show that stem cell therapy is going to help. And we see that, okay? So if a person is a candidate, then we have to decide, well, what's the treatment regimen going to look like? It may be that we have to give a lot of stem cells, or if someone has, let's say, arthritis and we're going to treat a few joints, we can maybe get away with 30 or 50 million. Okay, so it's going to be a broad, range. So when people say, well, what does it cost? We can show the cost of the stem cell levels. Okay, and we do have some free things when people get, 50 million or higher. But it's not always, straightforward. All right, so it's not necessarily an apples to apples when you're talking about somebody who's getting a treatment for a spinal cord injury versus someone who's coming down for anti-aging. So why is being affordable very important? Well, we haven't raised our prices in a long time. And the reason is that we've been able to continue to bring our costs down from our economy of scale, meaning that we treat a lot of patients around the world and we're able to bring our costs down as a result. So we transfer those cost savings over to patients. And that, to me, has been one of my primary goals and mission, is to be the most affordable stem cell therapy option in the world, not just in Mexico, okay? And why is that important? Well, I'm asking it again because it's important because most patients are not going to need just one treatment. Stem cell therapy, since it's not a cure, a definitive cure for the vast majority of patients, they are going to need to come back again, okay? Now, whether it's here, whether it's at our Tijuana clinic, the stem cells and the level of treatment are the same. People come to each one for different, reasons. Maybe it's geography. Maybe they want to spend more quality time here with family and turn it into a vacation. Because you can see how beautiful it is. But the bottom line is that there is going to be a need for multiple treatments. Now, when you look at that, going to a place like Panama or some of the clinics in, say, China and other countries that we're, competitors with, Colombia, they're ridiculously expensive.
And I use that term because it is ridiculous to see some of the quotations that we see from patients who have gotten consultations for something where we charge maybe 10,000, they've gotten a quote for like 28, you know, so it's 2 or 3 times what should be charged. And I say should be because, you know, pricing is a lot about how much can you get away with, right? And for us, it's a matter of how can we make it most affordable to the patients that we're trying to serve. So when, let's say a child has autism and they need 100 million stem cells, and then there's, you know, airfare to get here, and other expenses. We pay for the ground transportation, that's included. You know, how are you going to swing that if you want to do it once a year or once every 2 years? It's one of these things where in Panama you're going to pay around 25,000 US dollars. So 25,000 a year, you know, it's like sending your kid to private school or something like that. With us, 100 million stem cells at 7,250 US dollars. In addition, there are some fees for like the anesthesiologists or whatnot, but let's just say it's 8,000 US dollars, okay? When you compare that to 25 for a lot of other clinics, for the quality of what we provide, and you get exosomes for free, and multivitamin infusion for free, there's nothing like it. You know, and there hasn't been for years. And the fact that we haven't raised prices is a stellar opportunity, you know, for families. And those who have things like kidney failure, where you're going to need a treatment every year, or, you know, liver failure or something like that. You know, what is the price tag to put on keeping a loved one off of dialysis or off the transplant list? You know, we've seen that many, many times. So we have a team that calls patients after treatment at several time points to check in to see how we can help additionally. And what we found is that year over year over year, 85% of all of our patients are satisfied, meaning they would undergo the treatment again, or they would recommend it to friends and family with regards to the outcome, the experience, the affordability. You know, we ask, you know, several types of questions. And that to me, you know, means a lot. That means everything, because we want to treat the most amount of patients that we can to improve quality of life for the most affordable opportunity, while keeping the quality unparalleled with the stem cells that we offer. We offer the IntelliCell, which is the smartest stem cell on the market. So here in Mexico, we are allowed to culture the stem cells, and that's one of the reasons we're so affordable. But what that also means to us is that before we do the culturing, we actually evaluate the mesenchymal stem cells from the umbilical cord tissue, and we can select out the ones that have the most activity, the most colony forming units, the ones that are going to have the most viability and potency, and provide the best response for the best outcomes, okay? Those are the ones that we culture. That's why it's called the IntelliCell. It truly is the smartest stem cell available today. So we're in a medical complex. It's called the Azuna Corporate Center building. It's all pretty much medical in here. And this is where we built out our big clinic. We used to be part of a hospital here, but we had issues with a lot of them weren't bilingual, and they limited us on days of the week. So we spent a considerable amount of resources building out our clinic here. So we're going to walk in and show it to you.